Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to the MindCrack server. Indeed. What is this madness? Why am I back here? Oh, no, but we're back. Like I said, on the MindCrack server, we're actually running now on the snapshots once again. We are on 14W08A. That really doesn't mean too much in regards to random arrows. In regards to my own personal videos, because I have no idea what is new or different with these new snapshots. Hey, guy. Ow. How are you able to hit me, but I cannot hit you? You jerk. It's a Bane of Arthropod sword as well. It was ineffective. Oh, and now a guy with a speed potion. Where were all you guys during UHC? Yeah, look at them all. There's zombies somewhere. Some sort of redstone contraptions going on. I don't know what that's about, but we're here on the MindCrack server around spawn. I first started, I loaded up the snapshot and tried playing, and then my audio wasn't working. I had to restart Minecraft, and now my mouse feels weird, and I'm having problems, but yeah, we're back anyway. We're by ourselves, is all I have to say about that, so if Bash comes on, we know what to do. But yeah, back on the MindCrack server, I wanted to check out a few things. You may have noticed that the library that Pyro had built, it was one of the first kind of buildings here at spawn. Had a little fire hazard problem, and the roof burnt down, but he's rebuilding that. I guess maybe spoiler alert if he hasn't shown that or whatever, but there's a little bit of the outline of what he's working on. But normally, the reason I'm back here today and not doing a Farlands or Bust episode is A, just got done with Flobathon, for those of you who might have missed it. So I've got to put those videos together and put up an archive on YouTube of Flobathon before I do the actual finale. I think I'm going to save that for the 6th, since the 6th of this month is the 3-year anniversary since my first Let's Play video went up on YouTube. So yeah, I decided to come back into Minecraft because also UHC Season 14 ended over the weekend, both for myself and Michael and the entire season as a whole. And I always like to come back onto the normal Minecraft server and give a little bit of my own personal recap sort of situation to talk about what our thoughts are. Thoughts? Do I have a mouse in my pocket? No, my thoughts on the season and how it went and recapping the sort of stuff that went on there. So I suppose spoiler alert there. And also I'd like to discuss my lack of plans that I have. There's Juno. The only thing I've built on the server thus far. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I saw... I hear feet steps. Feet steps! I saw that... Oh. No, this is a block exchange. I think this is just advertisement for Arcus's block exchange. I'm done! So, thanks. I don't have any blocks for which to exchange. But yeah, Avidia gave me a beacon. Oh, and a bunch of blocks of iron, which apparently you do something to the beacon. Greetings! While working on the dojo, I'll go check out the dojo, maybe. I overdid it and ended up with a surplus. UHC mode can be rough. Blah, 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 blah. With these resources, make a beacon with regen. It's portable and has a radius of 50 blocks. Thank you! Be kind of pointless, I think, to set up a portal? No, what are these things called? A beacon this close to spawn. So maybe if I do ever decide to go somewhere, I will have to take this with me. So I suppose I should bring this into a safe place. Maybe I should put it in the ender chest back at spawn. But yeah, I saw that. So thank you very much, Avidia. Let me put all this stuff in here. And I had other stuff. I don't remember now. Oh, that was the entrance. But yeah, I actually started... of course, those are all empty. I started making a bunch of half slabs, because remember how I said I wanted to build a command center for the Juno spacecraft. I built one in creative mode. Excuse me, creative mode. I was a little bit disappointed. It was just a square building. It didn't seem, you know, it was just incredibly boring and normal. This is where I've been mining out all of the... See, I've been working away from the camera even, so don't say I don't make an attempt to do MindCrack stuff. So yeah, I've just been pillaring out things. But yeah, anyway, I built a command building in a creative mode and was just a little bit disappointed. It just seemed like, okay, here's a box. It just seems like it's not worth building, you know? It's like, there's nothing special to it. So I don't know, I have to reconsider my approach. I have considered the fact that maybe... Oh yeah, I was planting all these trees. These trees are weird. Where was there were two trees that grew like into each other over here, and they like, yeah, these two trees combined both tree trunks to make a single tree. That's very interesting of these types of trees. I'll have to take those down at some point. But I'm starting to maybe realize in introspection that maybe instead of the building, like placing blocks and building up, I prefer more of the destructive type of building. That is, like, for instance, the from last season, the missile silo, where I had to remove a bunch of material and from the ground, and kind of my failed attempt at making a mountain base. So kind of like, instead of building like a house or whatever, like BOO and all, you know, pretty much 99% of other Minecrafters like to build, I am more of a sculptor. Is that kind of the word? Because I'm removing material. So like building rooms into a pre-existing mountain or cliff face or underground. So I don't know. I'll have to reconsider my whole philosophy or lack thereof of Minecraft building. But I do want to come over. There was something cool that I saw a while ago, actually. This is old news for those of you who follow a bunch of other people and Etho and whatnot. Is he made a little, I don't even know where it is, to be honest. It's going to take a little bit of hunting. He made like a random music kind of generator thing with note blocks. I think is it down there, or is it's down somewhere. Downtown. That's not it. I am seeing through the world, so perhaps I can get a preview. Oh, this is... I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. The place burned down. That's past reviews. Did he build it over here? Ethos Underground Sound. This is it. It reminded me a lot. I mentioned this a while ago, but okay. Let's change it to 16 notes for less lag. But basically, you can go along here and tune each note as you see fit, and enable or disable each note. And channel on off, and then you basically switch it on. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so now it's doing... and it's basically, it's obviously quite repetitive, but I built in college, I took a lot of digital audio classes, and there's a program, well, it's like dropped me down. I'm well below 30 frames right now. It's freaking out. How do I turn you off? I built in this program called Max MSP, is basically a kind of a, what's the graphical programming, as opposed to like sitting there and typing, you know, like different command blocks or different commands and stuff. It's a visual, you know, you make certain functions, almost like Minecraft, where you have different command blocks that say this or that, switches on and off. I made a random music generator that basically had the entire scale of different notes that were in, you know, could create a harmony in actual scale instead of just random, you know, frequencies, but they were based on just steady frequencies, beeps, and then they went through a series of random selections on how long the tempo would be, what the beat would be, what each verse would be, and then it would switch, and You know, the computer, the program would select just randomly all these different parameters, even the length of the song. and a lot of times the music would turn out very similar to this, just complete, like, somebody having, like, seizures sort of thing. And, oh, I turned that off. That's what happened. Sorry, I'm enjoying this. But yeah, it was a random music generator that I created for this one class project. And, you know, it was a lot of that. But every once in a while, there was a song you would press start, and there was a song that would play, and you're like, ah, there's a tiny Mozart living inside my computer, and this is like an absolute masterpiece that, like, this is an actual song that makes sense and is actually sounds good. And kind of much like my interest in Far Lands or Bust, in walking and seeing amazing places but never seeing them again, I kind of, the kind of artsy spin I put on it was, okay, once you know, you can play these random songs, but once you play a random song, it doesn't record it. You could record it with an external software or whatever, or you could output to a wave, but the way I built it, you couldn't record it. Once you hear this song, it will never be played again, statistically speaking, as far as the random, you know, the hundreds and hundreds of thousands and perhaps millions of different variables that could change throughout the random music generator. But there's a bunch of... This is sort of becoming like a little strip mall street here, I think. MPD, this is the police station. There's a guy. A guy? Are you supposed to, like, write your complaint, probably? I don't know what that is. But yeah, that I saw Etho make that, or feature that in one of his videos, and I instantly thought of my random music generator. But as I said, as was originally promised, I want to talk about UHC Season 14, Ultra Hardcore. Got paired up with Michael once again. We were with Avidia before, doing I forgot what season that was, 10 maybe. We were Team Sobriety. Did pretty well. There were some epic moments of that team and that season. I was together with Michael this season, and you know, Michael's fun to play with. It's good to play with somebody you've already played with before. We have I feel like we have similar personalities, kind of not. We kind of approach it the same way. We're a little bit laid back. We're a little bit quieter. We're a little bit more just casual, I suppose, with our Minecraft playing. And yeah, that might be a good thing. That might be a bad thing. It might be that you need, when you have, I'm not saying Michael's a bad thing. I'm saying the pairing of two similar personalities might be a bad thing, that you need kind of two separate. I am not seeing anything and like that. When did this come up here? Was there like going to be a giant wall? That seems like an Arcus building. Come on, chunk errors. Good lord. You wonder if perhaps having two separate personalities that are kind of different to play off of each other is better for video's sake, anyway. I mean, speaking of, your Etho and Good, I think, was one of the best pairings of this season, and they were very familiar with each other, obviously, but also they just played off each other really well. Same with the MC Gamer and Nebris. Kind of had very, you know, just very free-flowing conversation and talking and whatnot. There is, I want to go check out, speaking of Etho and BOO are making an arena. And they're actually making like a small map, like a PvP map. It reminds me of, like, you know, your Call of Duty style maps or something like that I would be very interested in playing once it gets completed. They actually also built one in the last Feed the Beast server, and I actually installed, I don't know if I've told anybody this, but I installed Feed the Beast, the old server, for the sake of, because they invited me to join to test out or play the server, but I never got a chance. And then, you know, we reset this server and everybody came over here. I'm trying to figure out where this place would be. Pauses gaping hole. Maybe it's on one of the up ones? I think it might be, actually. But yeah, anyway, we had Michael. I think it went well, obviously, for that. And the twist, we always like to put a twist on I think it's down, yeah, I think it's down here. And of course, do I have? I have a minecart. Let us go. Yeah, this looks familiar. The twist this season was the mumble plugin, where we could hear each other only within a certain amount of distance, and directionally we could hear where each of us were coming from. I think this is where I come off. No, come back! Where are you going? I need you to get back. Well, this was... Or no, is this over here? This might be it over here. Yeah, because look at all these minecarts. Minecarts for days. No. Hi. Yeah, I'll put a couple minecarts in here. This one was mine. I claim it. So yeah, that was interesting. It was really good for gameplay, I suppose you could say, and making things exciting like that. But I mentioned this when we were talking about it during Flobathon. Wah! Oh, these are steps. Okay, or buttons. I pressed it and got stuck. But you wonder how it is for commentary, for video. Oh wow, this is coming along quite nicely. Yeah, there's like two sides that I'm assuming are going to be kind of mirror imaged. That two teams, kind of team deathmatch, I think is the game they're making, all with like vanilla redstone and pressure plates that keep score and how many deaths, and kind of like Battlefield where you run out of death credits or something like that if you hold certain points. I think I saw Etho testing a way to check when a person respawns and counting that against their team. But anyway, yeah, I wonder the balance between good commentary versus the good... I can see how that'd be very cool for just a casual one-off, not even recording. It would be really cool to make it very realistic. Or even like this. Like if we implemented that on like a normal multiplayer server, just making it kind of realistic that in order to talk to another person, you have to be near them. Oh, there's a creeper over there. Ow. So yeah, and I've mentioned before how it's always there's as far as the MindCrack UHC that we play, there's a balance between what your priorities are, either making good video or winning the match. Oh, this is a place I should not be. I don't want to blow up their fancy pants. All right, I have an ender pearl, don't I? Yeah, I do. Guy here. Oh, that was my own footstep. All right, get out, Kurt, get out. You don't want to ruin people's things. Of course, I might kill myself in doing this. Yep. Whoa, okay, I've went nowhere. Okay, here's the ladder. Got it. Go up, you fool. So yeah, there's always that balance, and as far as our own strategy, whenever we heard somebody, we got really quiet. And, you know, we went into stealth mode. So not that great as far as video is concerned, but very interesting at least to be able to hear the other purple and the other purple. I saw the color purple, and instead of people I said purple. And you know, being able to hear the other people, and in my video editing, I really upped the volume whenever we could hear other teams on the horizon, just so in our own headphones while we were playing, it was instantly apparent and we could hear what they were saying. But I know the majority of people might not listen or watch YouTube with headphones on, so I upped the volume quite a bit. So yeah, that's always a question of whether or not that's good for commentary per se. And I think maybe my opinion would have been, hi guy, would have been much different had the beginning of the season for us started much differently, because when you get hit by poison and are at the end of the first episode down to half a heart, your entire strategy and mindset changes. It's, I mean, even never ending up with these random arrows everywhere, even ending up with no bows, either of us, I feel like was a direct result of, you know, once we're down to half a heart, and Michael went way down as well, you can't take the chance of fighting spiders on the surface, because one hit and you're dead. You're through. You're done for. So, while in hindsight, once we got a few of those hearts back, maybe we should have taken a second to try to get spiders on the surface. We were just not having any luck on the surface. Any instance we were like, okay, let's attack right now, let's just get it over with. It's like, okay, here's 27 skeletons in your way. Good luck with that job. And it's really kind of just changes your entire strategy, and it became a PvE season for us versus a PvP, unfortunately. So yeah, and speaking of PvE, witches, I don't know. I have to check what has changed with the snapshots or whatever, but I mentioned this, I was very adamant in my videos in UHC about how I hate how the witches now spawn anywhere. We talked about it during Flobathon a little bit as well. It's like, why? That doesn't make any sense. That seems a little bit... And I know maybe it was in response to the fact that they never, you know, whenever there was a witch hut, it was very rare that there was a witch hut to be found. Oops, excuse me, bloop, lunch. There was very rare for a witch hut to be seen or found or generated. And even when there was, witches never spawned in them. So I don't know, maybe whatever mechanic, they had intended that for really didn't work out. Very cool. Zen Yin Yang design here. This is the dojo. I think it's still under construction a bit. But, and speaking of destructive construction, that's a good example right there. So yeah, this is a video, and then that's his. He had a surplus from having 9 beacons or whatever. This is some sort of zombie. He's like, huh, what was that? Huh. I don't like it, and I don't know, it almost seems, and I don't want to, like I say, the Mojang people always do this in one version and then change it in another version, and oh, this is cool, and go back and forth based on input from the community, so that's always good. So I hope, you know, I don't know, I might be the only person complaining about witches spawning everywhere. It just doesn't, not only is it frustrating, obviously in a UHC environment, but even in a vanilla environment, even if we did have Health Regen on, that would be frustrating, and it just doesn't, I suppose, the narrative, it doesn't make sense why a witch would be living, or spawning, per se, in an underground cave. I mean, and I know, there's no story in Minecraft, and I kind of want to, I'd like it to stay that way, there's no plot or whatever, but just, speaking of which, it just seems like... It seems like maybe, just maybe, they realized that witches weren't spawning as they intended them to in these witch huts, so instead of fixing that, let's just make them spawn everywhere according to the rules of these other mobs, and I feel like the witches should be treated as a special, and maybe, I mean, heck, you can have, I'm not a programmer, I don't know how it works, you can have villagers spawning in villages. Why is it such a problem to have witches? Just force a witch to spawn in every witch hut. You know, same as villager rules spawn villagers in the villages. Or I think that we came up with this during Flobathon, have witches spawn in villages randomly. So like you're going through a village and you're trying to you're pillaging the village. You're dead. And you know, you're going from house to house, and then suddenly you run into the library or the forge area, the blacksmith, and then bam, there's a witch there. So, you know, that would be surprising and certainly alarming, and maybe much like the zombies can turn villagers into zombies, maybe a witch could corrupt the other villagers in your village, turning them into witches since they share the same body. You know, I don't need some sort of huge, expansive story behind them, but it needs to kind of make sense. Because witches are something that we already have assumptions about how they should behave and what they do. I mean, heck, even if you wanted to give them broomsticks and give them the ability to fly, go for it, but having them spawn just everywhere and anywhere and in groups of like 3 or 4 I've seen on this server, just out in the middle of a field for no reason, just seems a little off-putting as far as the design of the game goes. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what they've changed in these snapshots for 1.8. Maybe they've already fixed or changed that sort of thing. I'm very curious to see what this is going to become. Oh wait, there's a sign, let's see. We didn't see this the first time. This is the quartz exchange. Whoa, is this, what? Staff only. Haha! Oh, I thought this was gonna like go up and we're gonna see what that whole pillar was about. Oh, here we go. Why does the quartz exchange need a giant tower? I'm very curious. Well, let's get a unique perspective on the spawn area. So that's my thought on witches, and as somebody who barely even plays this version, the newest versions of the game so often, maybe my opinions are invalid, but that's kind of cool from up here. I appreciate this vantage point. Indeed. But yeah, woo. I'm not sure about... I tried making a radio dish, speaking of the Juno spacecraft, a satellite dish in creative, and it was very frustrating. Making circles and spheres and domes is difficult enough, but to make one inverted and also like a satellite dish, I just wasn't wrapping my mind around how I could do that. Even when I was flying around in creative mode in my test world, I'm like, I can't make this look right. It's just too weird. And to make it look right, you have to make it like huge, like that dome right there. I would need 3 of those to make that into a satellite dish. And I'm like, God, I'm not gonna make a huge, gigantic thing out in the field here. I don't even have anything in here. Good job, Kurt. Where are these zombies that I hear? Oh, they might be in the crypt. Or in the walls. They're in the walls of the crypt. I don't have any food on me. Way to be prepared. Yeah, I think they're in the in-between. Yep. So... I think that might... I know this is a derpy episode. I ran around. I showed you Etho's place. I showed you what's going on the dojo. It's kind of a little plug for a video since he gave a beacon for my uses. And we've got a whole lot of other stuff even going on over at in the new areas. Was the arena in like the new areas out west? I don't even know. Whoa. At the zombies. Why so many zombies? You're going the wrong way, guy. Ow, I'm on fire! I need... Oh, there's like a whole dark place under there. What's up with that? Alright, stop it. Alright, maybe I should heal up first and then I'll get food. But yeah, kind of a weird episode. I'm thinking, I don't know, like I said, I'm trying to determine what kind of project I would enjoy. Seems like I said, maybe it's the destructive, I'm not in the range. The destructive building is more up my alley. I know I talked about before maybe making like a racetrack, but the horses I don't like because you can never get 2 with the same speed, it seems. And it wouldn't be fair. So maybe since they fixed the boats... see, that's something I complained about the boat mechanics. And I think plenty other people complained, and they changed the boat mechanics, so now you can actually steer with your WASD instead of just your mouse. So that was a good change. And they made them faster, it seems, as well. So maybe like a water racetrack? Maybe over... I could check out how the... kind of by Goodland, that whole kind of area would be a good place, maybe for something like that. And I was thought, oh, I could make it after an actual racetrack, I don't know, I could try to look at like an overview map of not something too crazy, not like the Nürburgring or anything, but just something like Silverstone from like our F1 series with Vintage Beef, or Monza, or you know, something where you could get a few boats in the water. There wouldn't be any ups or downs, because I know ups or downs and waterfalls screw boats up and stuff like that. But, you know, have it wide enough where you could have like 3 or 4 or 6 even boats going around at a time. And you can just, it's long enough where you can just do one lap and it's easy to say, okay, this person is the winner because after one lap. But short enough where it doesn't take you 20 minutes to make a lap either. So I'm thinking about that. That would be a destructive type of building. You carve it out and stuff like that. So maybe keep that in mind, perhaps for the future. I'll have to. This kind of thing is a little bit of an eyesore, so I think I'll have to take this farm down for these type of trees. I don't know if anybody. I'm sure if anybody really needed these trees, they would have a farm themselves, but I'll have these. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to build anything on the ground here underneath Juno. But there it is. My proudest and only build on the server so far. And I do appreciate you guys listening to my little rants and whoops. I'm just breaking my whole place here, aren't I? Destructive building. My rants and my thoughts and my little recap for UHC. I think it went well. And it ended kind of a little bit, I wouldn't say anticlimactically. I do like how we went in and just said, screw it, we're just going to attack. We're going to do our best. I don't have any food, do I? Good grief. Oh, I have raw chicken. Okay, I'll cook that up. I don't know, we might have been able to have had them, because they were, I didn't realize at the time, but I sort of saw that they were precariously, I'm speaking of Paws and Arcus, perched on a cliffside, and if we had arrows, we might have had a chance to knock them over. All I had were the snowballs, and apparently those don't cause any knockback or damage to a player anymore. So that was, it was my battle cry. Snowballs! So yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode of MindCrack. I try to get back up to the speed of things with videos and whatnot since Flobathon is over and I can go back to our regularly scheduled programming. My name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. I can only sleep at night. Well, I'm tired now, dang it. I'm tired now.